Practicing the act of accepting that which you cannot change, learning to move on and let go will only serve to help strengthen your resilience muscles, leading to greater feelings of personal independence in your life. Hi, and welcome to Beyond Empty Nest. I'm your host, Jody Silverman, speaker, mentor, and Chief Dare Officer at Moms Who Dare. Every Thursday, I'll share stories of midlife transformation, happiness tips, and dare you to see the opportunities waiting for you so that you can make this next chapter even better than the last. If you're ready to dare, I'm ready to dare with you. Let's get into today's episode. Personal independence is the ability to rely on yourself or on your own abilities and judgments. It's about being self-confident and self-reliant. And one way to achieve this is through the practice of acceptance. Hey, everybody, I'm Jody Silverman, mindset and happiness coach with this month's mini mentor message for you. Question. Are you somebody who finds themselves stuck in situations or relationships that aren't working? Are you somebody who's always trying to change things that maybe can't be changed? Like feeling like you're swimming upriver or against the tide? Well, you're not alone. And today, I'm going to share with you one of the 5 core practices I've learned during my 11-year personal growth journey that has helped me overcome life challenges over and over again, and has resulted in less stress, less worry, and an increase of my level of happiness, even when things, well, kind of suck. The practice I'm talking about is called acceptance. Now, to be clear, by acceptance, I'm not talking about giving up or not standing up for what you believe in. Rather, I'm talking about it being trusting in yourself to know when it just doesn't feel right to be in the situation you're in. Trusting to know when it's time to simply walk away, let go, or change the path you're on. You've all heard of the serenity prayer, right? Well, in case you've forgotten it, it's a perfect reminder for when you're feeling stuck or resisting change. Told you we would get a little woo-woo around here. So the serenity prayer is this: Universe, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. When you put practicing at the top of your life skills list, you will lessen your worry and you will ease your anxiety. Practicing the act of accepting that which you cannot change, learning to move on and let go will only serve to help strengthen your resilience muscles, leading to greater feelings of personal independence in your life. Look, life will always give us plenty of opportunities to learn and practice acceptance. This I know for sure. I'm going to share a few of mine. I've learned something from each one as it relates to acceptance and truly being independent, self-confident and self-reliant. I'm curious as I share these with you, have any of these experiences been similar to what you might have experienced? So the first experience has to do with building my network marketing business. While building my team for this business, I had to accept and let go of wanting more for others than they wanted for themselves. I had to learn to let go of the outcome, just trust that it would all work out well. Here's one for the moms, launching our children. I know I had to learn how to accept that as my children went out into the world on their own, that they might not make decisions that I would choose for them or do things the way I would, and allow them to figure it out for themselves. I had to accept that my role as mom was fluid and kept shifting. And I also had to trust that I laid that foundation strong for them so that they could succeed. I had to accept the end of a lifelong friendship. I had to realize and accept that we were not the same people anymore, and that our friendship was keeping us both in a space of anger and hurt. And finally, something that just happened a couple months ago for myself and my family was accepting that my 17-year-old dog, Maggie, was so unhappy and so unwell. And we had to accept that it was time for her to leave us versus holding on because the thought of not having her around was just too much to bear. You know, the art of practicing acceptance, it's not easy. And yet it will lead to your personal independence. Here's what I know. Although we cannot change others or even some of our circumstances, we can always choose what we do and what we don't do. We can choose to stay stuck, we can choose to let go, and we can also choose to move forward. So as we end another Independence holiday, what will you choose? Will you choose to stay in a space of denial, frustration, anger, and stress? Or will you choose to trust in yourself and trust in the universe, which Gabby Bernstein says always has our back, and decide to accept the situation that's keeping you stuck and then take your next step forward? Because when you do that, that, my friend, is personal independence. So here's your dare for the week. Number 1, identify a situation where you are feeling stuck, a situation that can't be changed, that you feel like you're swimming upstream against the tide. Identify that. And once you've identified it, then what's your next step? Here are 3 things to think about. 1, was there another time in your past that you had to accept a situation and let go of? And if so, reflect on that and remember how you navigated it and maybe apply that to this situation. Or maybe 2, who can support you? Do you have a therapist, a really good friend, a family member? Find somebody who can support you and ask for help. And finally, ask yourself, is there something that I can do to shift my focus away from this situation? Maybe you need a distraction. What might that be? That's your dare for the week. And remember, when you're really feeling stuck in a situation, you can always go back to the prayer because prayer works. Say it with me. Universe, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And if you're out there listening to this, send me a message, drop me a line, leave a comment. How did this episode impact you? What landed with you about the practice of acceptance? We always want to hear from you, our listeners, how the episodes of Beyond Empty Nest are helping you navigate midlife. Dare on. Thank you for listening to this episode of Beyond Empty Nest. Head over to jodysilverman.com for our full show notes, more information, and additional resources to support you through empty nest and midlife. And if you've enjoyed today's show and are ready to embrace this midlife chapter, then you must take the Happy for No Reason quiz. When you take the quiz, you'll discover what your happiness set point is and how you can increase it and continue to strengthen it. This is just one key to navigating life transitions and discovering your most fulfilled and daring life. So go ahead, click the link below and take the quiz now. I'll see you next Thursday. Dare on.